Welcome. Today's reflection is brought to us by the letter H. My name is Lisa Starr Francis, and I'm here with the Word Oracle Alchemy System. And each day I show up with one card that has an alphabet letter. So every day it's a different letter. Today it is the letter H. And today's reflection is brought to us by the letter H and the color orange, because we have an orange trim around the card, and the deck is broken. The Word Oracle Alchemy System deck has a section that is gold, a section that is purple, a section that is green, and a section that is orange. And so we are currently doing orange, and we are on letter H. So the reflection for today is brought to us by the letter H and the color orange, and three words that begin with the letter H. Okay. And we are doing this because words indeed do hold frequency. And each day when we share this reflection together, it presents the opportunity for us to connect with words and have the experience directly about the frequency of words relating exclusively to ourselves. So this is for us. It's not about how somebody else feels about it. It is about how we feel about it. And these daily reflections are offering the opportunity for all of us to reflect and see how words feel for us when we handle them in this different manner. So what I'm going to do is, there are three H words, and I'm going to say them one at a time. And after I say the first word, you say that word to yourself, either in your head or out loud. Doesn't matter, either will do. And when you say it, you're just going to notice what happens when you say the word to yourself. Okay, so we're going to be in the noticing. All right, so the first word today that begins with the letter H is the word hands. 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 So say the word hands to yourself. Notice what happens when you say hands to yourself. Does your mind go to a memory that has to do with the word hands? Does your mind go to the dictionary meaning? What happens? Where do you notice the word hands? What's happening? Because this is really just a way for us to simply reflect and notice. Okay. So let's move to the second word. The second word that begins with the letter H is the word hot. Hot. Say that word to yourself. And just notice, when you say hot, do you feel relaxed? Do you feel tense? What do you notice? Again, this is just for us to isolate a word and say it all by itself, allowing us to feel it. And the reason we're doing this is because in ordinary life, we're using words always in combination with other words. We're very rarely isolating a word, separating it from other words, and just saying it to ourselves to even feel what that word feels. So this little thing just gives us that opportunity. So you've noticed how you felt about the word hands. You've noticed how you felt about the word hot. And the third H word today, brought to us by this card, is the word hormones. Hormones. So now, say the word hormones to yourself. You could say it out loud or in your head. And as you say hormones, notice what you feel. Notice what you feel. Do you feel it in your body? Is it landing in a certain place? So that's the third word. So we've had our three words, and we can now recognize that these words. We may have felt something, we may not have felt something, but separating them and saying them like that gives us the opportunity to tune into the fact that words do make us feel something, because words are carrying frequency. And this is a simple way for us to begin to notice the frequency that words hold for us. So this is an excellent little practice for us. So onward now we go with the rest of today's reflection from the letter H. So now I'm going to read the mystical word potion in the Word Oracle Alchemy System. This is the guidebook that comes when you buy the deck. There are 3 different things that you can do in this guidebook. And the one thing is this thing called the mystical word potion. And the mystical word potion is a series of 104 quotes, let's just say. They are reflections that each of the cards share. They sometimes seem like Yoda wrote them, maybe Yoda playing with Dr. Seuss, and then the Riddler comes in to twist it all up. So these are not written necessarily in any way that we would normally write things, but they are written that way by the cards because this oracle deck is here to help us shift the frequency of words. And the mystical word potion in the back is meant to just be read and nothing more. And it is said that through the reading, and when I say it is said, the guidance I receive from the divine is that as we read that, the way that it is written, it shifts us. So that is a bonus in the back. You don't even have to pull a card. You can just flip it open and look and read from wherever you are. You can just flip it open and read 1, or you could flip it open and read, 3, however many you want. And I'm going to read the one for the letter H today. So I'm going into the book and I'm looking for the one that's associated with the card that we have today. Okay, so it says, okay, let me hold the card up. This card, the mystical word potion for this H card, says, you can feed your hunger for that moment of knowing by entering the habitat you know as your heart space. So again, this says, you can feed your hunger for that moment of knowing by entering the habitat you know as your heart space. Okay, so we're going to look at what is the core principle in that statement. And the core principle in that statement is that true knowing does not always rise from analysis or reasoning. There is a deeper wisdom that lives in the heart. That's the core principle. So this is saying it like you can feed your hunger for that moment of knowing. So we're all have a hunger, the feeling of, knowing something. We have the hunger. And they're telling us in this statement that we can feed it by entering the habitat of our heart space, which is basically saying when we turn our attention inward and settle into the heart space, clarity and understanding can emerge naturally. The spiritual law here is that inner guidance becomes accessible when the mind quiets and returns to the heart. This is where intuition and truth quietly reside. So we have to return there because that is where our intuition and the truth are quietly residing, waiting for us to come to the heart. So that is the core principle in this card's message. A Bible verse that we can use alongside this to understand this principle even more would be Proverbs 3:5, which says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Okay. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. So that quote is saying, it's encouraging us to trust in divine wisdom rather than relying on intellectual reasoning. And the reason that that connects with the card message is because the card is pointing us that the heart is the place of deeper knowing, and the verse is echoing the same principle that true guidance is found beyond the analytical mind. Okay, and I'm going to share a quote from one of the past metaphysical teachers that I have read on my over 40-year journey with metaphysics. This author today is Eric Butterworth, and his quote for today is that the kingdom of God is within you, and it is discovered in the silence of the heart. That's a quote from Eric Butterworth. And Mr. Butterworth taught that spiritual truth and divine presence are discovered within one's inner awareness. So, of course, that connects with the mystical word potion because it invites us to enter the heart space to experience our moment of knowing. And Mr. Butterworth's teaching reflects the same idea that spiritual clarity arises from within. So there you go. This is our daily reflection brought to us today by the letter H, the words hands, hot, and hormones. And I will be back tomorrow with the reflection from the letter I. I hope to see you then. Many blessings.